everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Ritnika and this is Natural Vibrations. Today I've hopped on to talk to you more about law of attraction and how you can hone your skills of manifesting things in your life. Sorry, that was my dog. What I wanted to talk to you about was a book that I discovered about 3 years ago before I really started manifesting things. And this book is by Pam Grout. It's called E Square, and you can pretty much get it anywhere you want. I got this from a bookstore in India, but you can get it in the US, you can get it on Kindle, Amazon. It's available everywhere. It's a really thin book, it's really light, and it's basically has little experiments that you can do so that you can realize how you can manifest things in your life. And I really think this is a great starter book. In fact, if you have young kids at home to start off with, you can give them the, little experiments to do as well. What I really liked about this book was that when I first started out, I wasn't really a believer. I didn't do any tarot cards, oracle cards. I wasn't a healer. I just had started my spiritual journey and just sort of discovering all of these things. And what I loved about this book was it wasn't a lot of fufa. Like, you know what I mean? It wasn't very like, oh, like your emotional mind, take over. Things that I would appreciate now, but it wasn't like God is talking to you and, I don't mean to make fun of that. It's just that I'm more open to all of that stuff now. I know that when I was just starting out, if I had read things like that, I would have been like, yeah, that's bullshit. So that's what I really liked about this book was it's very simple. It just tells you that, you can talk to whether you believe in universe, energy, God, whatever it is, it's energy. And you can test it, and that's what I really like, because I like to know for a fact that something works before I do it. Even with all my services, I always try to make it work for myself, and if it does, only then do I want to learn it or recommend it or whatever to other people. My dog just licking himself. So so what I really liked about this book was that it just talks about how there's this energy around us and how you can test that the energy is working for us. So in fact, what I'm going to do today is give you guys, of course, you should definitely read the book. There's a lot that goes into it to explain how it all works, but I'm going to jump in and give you guys a little bit of an experiment to conduct. Now, just remember, if it doesn't work for you, it doesn't mean that the energy is not there. It just means that you need to keep practicing so that truly you believe it inside. Because when we have doubts within us, that's when things don't happen. All right? So, the experiment is called the Dude Abides Principle. And I really like it. I love the fact that it's called the Dude Abides Principle. It doesn't, it's not about, God, it's not about universe, because everybody believes different things. I like the Dude Abides because it reminds me of The Big Lebowski. And for those of you who haven't seen that movie, you really have to. Anyway, it says the theory. There is an invisible energy force or field of infinite possibilities, and it is yours for the asking. So that is the theory we're going to try to prove, that there is an invisible energy force or a field of infinite possibilities, and it's yours for the asking. Now, the question is, does it exist? The hypothesis is that if there is a 24-hour energy force equally available to everyone, I can access it at any time simply by paying attention. Furthermore, if I ask the force for a blessing, giving it a specific time frame and clear instructions, it'll send me a gift and say, my pleasure. So what you got to do is you've got to put out an intention to the universe, God, energy, whatever you want to call it, and be like, look, I am giving you 48 hours, and say it nicely. Be like, universe, dear universe, I'm trying to give you 48 hours. So if you do really exist, please give me a sign that I will know for sure that it's from you. Okay, and I would really, really like it within the next 48 hours, please. And I want the sign to be a clear sign, something that cannot be written off as coincidence. Okay, and you got to put it out there, and then you just sort of have to let it go. You got to believe that it'll come, whatever it is, and you have to stop being so focused on it. So let me tell you what happened when I did this. I did this 3 years ago, and I remember This is when I was just starting my spiritual journey. I had just finished a 4 or 5 day shamanic festival retreat. That was the first thing after Reiki, because Reiki, a friend of mine was teaching me. That was the first thing I tried out after Reiki, and it had a lot of different shamans, and a lot of stuff happened. And I met a couple of girls in that group, and we decided to sort of have a one-on-one session with one of the shamans who later became my teacher. And the plan was he was going to be in Goa, which is a little, beach city where my parents have a place. And we decided that it would be great the three of us, to go and do like a retreat there. Now, actually, the plan was, one of them was planning it out, and she asked me if I wanted to go. And I'm like, sure, we can go. We can stay in my house, in fact, so that it can be one place and we don't have to move around. Another girl wanted to join in from the class, but the two of them had some sort of a falling out. Honestly, I don't know what happened. The point is that I didn't want to get involved. So I just made it very clear that, look, I have my room, the shaman will have a room for himself, and I have a third room where the two of you would have to share. So if you guys wanted to come do this in my place, you would have to figure out what's going on between the two of you and sort it out, because I can't get involved. Because honestly, I didn't want to take on more baggage that I already could handle. And during this time, it's when I set out the intention that, look, universe, show me you exist, and make sure it's such a huge sign that I cannot, disregard it in 48 hours. The next 48 hours were very interesting, and I didn't really put it together till the end. The two girls had an argument, and one of them decided not to come. The one that decided to come lived in Bombay, which is just a couple of hours away from Mumbai. In fact, you can drive down, take a train, fly, whatever. So we had this plan. We all were like, okay, fine, the three of us, the shaman, us, we'll all go. It was all set. And then a day before we were supposed to leave, which was towards the last day of the 48 hours, I get a message from that girl, and she was like, I have some stomach issue and I can't come. So I was like, what do you mean? Like, all of this was planned by you, and the other girl didn't come because of this. And I'm like, what kind of stomach issue is it? Because I've had a lot of tummy issues, and I'm like, are you throwing up? Are you running to the loo? She goes, oh no, all of that is sorted. The doctors told me I can't fly. Now, I mean, maybe I don't know everything, of course, but I had never heard of a stomach issue where you couldn't fly. So I was just thinking, I was like, okay, but she can drive, she could take a train. It's not that far from Mumbai to Goa if she really wanted to do it. So I just told her that she should try and to let me know, because, whatever. She decided not to come. And it was very strange, because I was just like, she planned all of this. She fought with somebody else. She was really excited about this. And her reason was very weird. Like, she didn't really give me another reason after that. I asked her, what did the doctor say? What medicines are you on? She didn't give me any of that information. So I already thought something was weird. And at that moment, I went back to the Pam Grout experiment, and I was just like, maybe this is it. But I'm like, how is this a good thing? I'm like, I asked the universe to give me a sign that they have my back, that they're there. The universe usually gives a good sign. It's not going to give you a shitty sign. I mean, that's not what the universe does. So I was just like, okay, maybe this is it, maybe it isn't, but I can't make much of it. The next day, I, spoke to the shaman. We had decided to still continue with the two of us. And when I reached Goa, I met him, and he told me. So I just told them what happened. I just told them that I don't know what happened to this girl. I don't know why we broke up, whatever. She didn't come. The plans fell apart. And what he said put everything into perspective. He told me, oh, well, I guess it was a good thing, because now we can do a one-on-one mentorship rather than be like a workshop where everybody's at a different place in their life. Not everybody's as spiritually evolved or as emotionally healed or whatever, and everybody's journey is different. So if there were like 3-4 people, it would be more like a workshop, but you can't really go into too much depth, because you don't have to take care of everybody's issues. But because there was nobody else, it would be a full-on mentorship, and we can focus on only what you wanted to work on and things you wanted to learn from me. And that's when it hit me. I was like, oh my God, that was a sign from the universe, because not only did I get 1 week of intensive training with him, we became really good friends. And in fact, he has sort of been my mentor throughout for the last 2 years. And even the shamanic drum that I use, the one with the blue that you can see is covered, I got it from his teacher and his friend in the US, and he's just been there for me throughout. And if you guys are in the US and you want to try his healing methods, he's amazing, by the way. His name is Chris Eagle. You can check out his details on my website, naturalvibrations.in. You can connect with him and book a session. But the point is, it does work, and sometimes it's all about paying attention. So the universe is always doing things for us, always showing us his presence. And you don't need cards, you don't need tarot cards or oracle cards always to tell us. You just need to pay attention. So guys, try this experiment and let me know what happens. And I'm going to give you another one next week. All right, guys, take care. Bye.